But you don't want to go into your trading constantly pursuing right. And you know already, most of you, doing that isn't getting you where you want to be. But you're wrestling, arm wrestling with the results of you trying to do that. You think, well, if I just do a little bit harder, I'll get through that because this is how trading is. No, that's how gambling is. Look at the people. If you had the opportunity to go to a casino. When I had my first year anniversary, we went to Atlantic City and we stayed at the Taj Mahal. And I literally only took $100 down to the casino. That's it. Because number one, it was my first time at the casino. I've never gambled like that. And I said, in the event that I would take more money than I should, and if I win, I'm afraid that I'm going to get compulsive about that and say, I'm going to try to do it again and do it with more and more and more. So I purposely left all credit card, all debit card. I don't even use a debit card, but I'm just telling you, there was no means for me to take any money out of my bank accounts. It's just, this is what I brought, and other cash was for, eating and whatever. And I sat at that one-armed bandit slot machine, and every time I would get down to the last $10, I just want to lose it because I don't want to have to do this anymore. And I didn't want to do what? Get up and walk away. The analyst in me was saying, this is a waste of time. You're not going to make any money, and you're already just wanting to leave, but you're not wanting to get up because Retail Rick is pulling the slot machine. But what happens if I get a jackpot? What happens if I win $2,000? The maximum thing I could have won on this was $2,000. And I would make it a little bit up to 75, 65, just under $80, getting back to the $100 that I put in the machine. And then all of a sudden, it would be spent down to the last $10, $12. And I'm like, okay, it won't be much longer now. And then I won't have it. I ain't got to worry about doing this. I can go watch the shows with my wife or whatever. And I'd win a little bit more, but it would be like to be $50 or $40. And then the gambler in me said, oh, I'm probably real close to one of those big wins. Let me just keep playing. And I sat down there for almost 7 fucking hours with the same $100. Couldn't make it go away, and I couldn't freaking make any money above $100. I never got it over $100. So I'm thinking to myself, this is stupid. Like, what the hell am I doing? So finally, I just did the maximum bets that it would allow me to do, and then boom, it's gone. And I was relieved that $100 was spent like that, because I was like, okay, now I don't have it. I won't be enticed to do what? Do another run of that and get caught up in that whole pursuit of being right. That's how I learned this. The whole discussion tonight was that moment in 2022. I'm sorry, 2002 is when we went to Atlantic City. We got married Valentine's Day of 2001, and then a year later we were in Atlantic City celebrating it there, which was weird because I've never been to a casino, and that's where she said she wanted to go, so whatever. But this whole idea of removing myself from that, I applied that experience to the trading. When I start feeling like I'm listening to the wrong voice in my conscience that's telling me to be acting on impulsiveness, what if? See, the analyst isn't going to do, okay, what if you make more money than we thought? Or what if this is a trade that we hold on for a longer time? The analyst is never doing that. The analyst is going to speak through your conscience to you and say, this is the rules, bub. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is all you're supposed to be doing. And when you step out of line, I'm going to remind you, because it's going to feel like uncomfortableness. And that's not just fear of making money or losing money. That sometimes is the analyst that's been increasing in its understanding about what it is that you're doing and the marketplace, don't cancel that out. Don't arm wrestle that, because it's sometimes the experienced analyst that you trained up to this point in your development, and it's going to be communicating to you through your conscience by saying, this is not what we should be doing. We should be doing this. And then what you're doing sometimes is you're allowing retail Rick, the gambler in you, and the trader to argue with one another, ignoring the analyst, which is the sound advice that you should be following. So how do you deal with that? Your plan needs to be written out. When I take a trade, I have a notepad next to me. I'm literally writing down target, partial, stop won't move until it gets to this price. That's it. So if I see something, some little flurry of price action comes in, boom, if it doesn't break the rules that I have written down for my idea, I'm not moving my stop. I'm not panicking. But it might cause a concern for me to feel like the analyst is saying, okay, we now are in troubled waters. What's the process? Half off. Don't move the stop anymore. Or if it's not moved to better the break even, move the better to break even, and then let it go. Submit to whatever happens. And that's how you condition yourself to not just run like a cat with its tail between its legs, fearful, because that's what would be the outcome. You don't want to just run away from any trade. At some point, you have to press into it. But it's easier to press into that trade that's uncertain now when you've taken half off. You've made money. You had a part-time job in that trade and you made money. There's nothing wrong with that.